What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Catch Me Off-Road YouTube channel. I am super excited today. We have probably the coolest video I've done in a while, just a reveal. I'm showing these trucks because I got my truck parked right next to me on the left, and I don't want to show it just yet, but I had the most recent mod I just did to the truck was I had it wrapped, a full wrap at a company called Wrap Detroit, who I'm convinced are the best wrap company anywhere. And you guys will have to take a look, and I'm sure you're gonna agree. But all right, with no further ado, here is the new wrap. Oh, by the way, we're at Blackout City Customs, just hanging out with the boys, getting some other stuff done to the truck. Here we go. Check this thing out. Give it a minute, let it sink in. I just picked it up and I am just speechless. It is crazy. So let's jump right into it and start talking about it. All right, so like I said, the company that did this was called Wrap Detroit, since I'm here in Detroit Metro in Michigan. Here's their logo right here, wrapdetroit.com. We also have a shout out to our boys at LaFontaine Auto Performance, one of our top places to get our work done at for vehicles. So, all right, let's look at this wrap. So I approached them and asked them for a fully custom wrap. I wanted it to be printed and not something you could just pick up at a store and wrap your vehicle with. And Hank and Chris just went crazy with it. They were like, hey, you tell us what kind of colors you're looking for, what kind of patterns, designs, and we're gonna do the rest. We're gonna just go ham on it. And so I asked them I said I like bright colors. I showed them my previous wraps that I've had with grays and bright blues, turquoise, teals, greens, things like that. And then I also mentioned that I really like the fluorescent yellow look. And I told them also one of my favorite colors is Nardo gray, or just like different tones of gray. And that's exactly what they came up with. And Hank is a freaking genius at doing design work. So they use special software to layer. They get different patterns, colors, they're editing stuff. And I don't know how it all works. I watched him work for like 2 minutes and it was way over my head. So let's start from probably the back of the truck. So you can see here they added in some contour lines, kind of like topography lines from off-road maps. They're located throughout the whole wrap. You'll see them. So that was really cool. That was one of the features I asked for originally. Then you'll see they added in some trees that are from Michigan forests, since we're always out in the woods and stuff around here. So you can see a couple of those. You'll also see this really cool like background kind of noise that they added in different colors. I asked for some blues and stuff, so they added those in here on the bedside, and a lot of just noise and glitchy looking stuff. And then you'll see these really cool yellow chevrons that are also with a glitch effect built into them, and those are located throughout the truck, as well as this really cool barcode looking thing that's glitchy. And then this is one of my favorite parts. They added in a Wendigo, and they kind of shadowed him in there where he's got stuff on top of him, and then you can see the antlers, you can see the red eyes, the muscles. It looks really cool. And then obviously our Midwest Offroad Expeditions logo with the Catch Me Off-Road hashtag. So coming around to the front, you can see it has different colors. There's like the black, the matte black look, as well as the gray Nardo color that I really like. And then on the front, there's actually some cool textures. They look like skins, like maybe an animal skin, like a reptile or something like that. And then our big logo on the front. My God, this thing looks amazing. I know it might not be for everyone. It is really bright. It does kind of smack you in the face, but I don't know. I feel like it fits the brand really well. At Catch Me Off-Road, we're all about the bright colors and having fun, and scratches, trail marks, topography lines, trees, all this stuff kind of really fits in perfectly to what we're going with. So you come around to this side and it kind of mirrors the other side. So you'll also notice what's cool is they wrapped all the way around to the roof and above. So it's literally a full body wrap, not a single piece of blue paint shows anymore. The other cool thing that they did that no one has done before, every time I've wrapped it, no one has done this, is they run black, like a nice matte black strip across here, where normally this is blue paint. and you would be able to see the blue, and it's always poked through and kind of bothered me. They did this without me asking or anything, and they did an awesome job at it. So it literally hid all the blue. And then the reason I said they're the best wrap shop around is this is my third or fourth wrap I've had, and I've never had one where just looking at the corners and where things tuck in, how clean everything is, how nicely they wrapped it. Nothing's like bubbling up on the edges, nothing's popping out. They did a really thorough job of like making sure everything's tucked in nicely. I mean, here, let me show you inside the doors as well. Look how clean these cuts are. So the inside's blue because that's the original color of the truck. Look at this. Perfectly flush all the way around all of the surfaces. I mean, they just did an amazing job. So as you can tell, it's in like a satin finish, a matte or a satin finish. So low gloss, which I originally was expecting it to be, you know, I was thinking I want to do a gloss wrap just because it hides scratches really well when we off-road so much. And they were like, man, it's gonna look really good if we do it in satin or matte, you know, with the color scheme we're going with, and they said it'll really pop. And so I was like, do what you want to do, guys. It's you know, I'm giving you free reign. And they took it and ran with it, and I'm super glad they did it this way. Obviously I haven't seen it on the trails scratched up, but Hank was able to add in a lot of, like I said, this kind of noise and stuff, a lot of horizontal lines that will help blend in scratches that are running horizontally through the truck. Same as here, kind of all the impact areas are really nicely blended, where if you do have scratches and stuff, it shouldn't show up too much. You can see like my fenders here are all scratched up from just one time off-roading. This truck's only been off-road one time since I bought it the last couple months. And yeah, hopefully they'll blend in like right here with the scratches. So that's the wrap. I just wanted to show it off to you guys. And also one other thing, they hid some Easter eggs. I wasn't gonna point them out, but they're too cool not to. You'll notice these numbers. Those are actually coordinates for some of the spots we hit up. So like this one is Grayling. They labeled it for us. There's another one right here that says St. Helen. That's another spot we do events in Michigan. And there's more scattered throughout the vehicle. I won't point them all out, but you know, if you ever see this truck in person, come up and try to find them all. Super cool little Easter eggs they hid in there. Tailgate looks really good. If you're coming up behind me, you'll see it. You know, Catch Me Off-Road, Midwest Offroad Expeditions on the right. And then even when it's coming at you on the highway or whatever, it really pops. So, I mean, they just did a phenomenal job. Thank you guys so much for the work. Like I said, top-notch experience. It was super fast too, honestly. I dropped it off on a like on a Wednesday, and they printed the wrap the same day. They'd been working on it for a couple days before. They printed the wrap on Wednesday, and then they worked on it Thursday and Friday. They're closed on weekends, and then Monday, as soon as they opened, like, you know, in the morning, 10 or 11 a.m., they texted me and said, hey, your truck's about ready to pick up, come by. We're just putting the last few pieces of trim on it. So I came by, and it was exactly as you see it. So like a three-day wrap install, which is insane for fully custom one that you have to, you know, everything has to be in the exact right spot. You can't just, it's not a solid color where you can just throw on random patches wherever you want. So they did an amazing job though. Thank you guys a ton at Wrap Detroit. Please check them out. They actually did several vehicles in our group, in our off-road group. They've done PPF on one of our guys' GTRs. They also fully wrapped the LaFontaine Auto Performance Silverado that you've seen in some of our videos. They just did that a couple months ago, and they did an amazing job. That's what really made me want to go to them, is their design work on that truck. So very happy I went with them. We actually have one more thing that's coming soon. So my other set of wheels and tires, they're Icon 18-inch wheels, and they have a beadlock, a simulated beadlock ring around them, kind of like these. These are 20s though. So the 18s, they're on really nice Aturo tires that I want to use for off-roading. And we're going to be wrapping those in the same color yellow as you see here, just to match it. So I think that'll make it pop even more. And if I want to go back to the black look, I have this set of wheels and tires as well. They're both 37, so easy to swap them back and forth. So if you're coming to our event, Coast to Coast, it's coming up this weekend. I think this video will actually be posted after, because I'm trying to do the reveal after the event. So make sure you follow along for our Coast to Coast video. It should have just come out before this one, I'm guessing, or right after this one, depending on what order I finish editing them in. And yeah, come up, try to find the truck. If you see us anywhere in Metro Detroit, or if you're on the trails, be sure to check it out. And also go on to wrapdetroit.com. Look up all their other cool wraps they've done. They're really big on doing like commercial side stuff, like box trucks, fleet vehicles, things like that. I've seen tons of vehicles running around. I never really knew what the logo was, the WD, until I focused on right down here where it says wrapdetroit.com. So if you see that logo, that's what it is. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you off-road.